Yo, I'm back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I finished twisting up and I remember where I left off. So, I don't think there's any victims in life. I think everything happens for a reason. It's God's plan, right? To have you right where you at the particular moment you at, like you know. So, and with that being said, at this point in my life, and this is where we about to unpack my dad. So I unpacked my mother, broke it down, unpacked that middle frame, what that was for me coming up into that age, coming into being a double daddy at 15 and realizing what I had to do and dealing with my mom and the epidemic. But that epidemic was pivotal because at that same time, if you remember back in the story, in the first session or however I'm ever to upload this, the first part of this, JC wasn't my dad. I thought he was my dad, but I realized that he wasn't. Ed wasn't my dad. He acted as my dad. Like, I respected him as my dad, but he wasn't my dad. So I started to wonder who my dad was. Who was this guy on my birth certificate, James Jones, right? Named after him. And I got some stuff that resonated in my spirit about my name just recently. But it made me start to go searching. So I went up top on my mama because I don't know if it was her situation that had her avoiding it or whatever. But I took it up top. I remember, and I asked my grandmother, "Who's my father? Like, who's my real father?" I think I heard mumbles or something, like bitter family members or something like that, about my dad and things like that. So I never knew who he was, right? I never knew. So a year went by. So um, I had been in a relationship with the older woman, my kid's mother, and being with her caused a little bit of strife between my mom too. They actually got into it. I was in and out the DH, and in trouble, being unruly, catching cases. My cousin being bad, getting me locked up. Like I was in and out the DH for a little bit, right? So in this time period in my life, like my grandmother just called me one day, like, Jabo, you need to come over. Um, I'm rushing over there. I'm on my way over there because I'm thinking she got like some stuffed cabbage balls ready for me or something. That's what she used to do. She used to make these little dishes. My brother had his favorite dish. I don't remember what his dish was. But my dish was stuffed cabbage balls, and she had some in her big, tall, deep freezer, frozen. Every time I come over, she put them in the pocket to heat them up. But she did have some cabbage balls for me. But when I walked in the door, I looked at this guy standing at the dining room table with her. And we just kind of locked eyes. And you know how you lock eyes with a broad, or like you just make a connection with somebody, or you just look at somebody and it's like you know them but you don't know them, or you got to get to know them, or like it's just this energy. And so we locked eyes and we looked at each other, and I said, "That's my daddy." Before my grandmother even said anything. So I just looked at him. I ain't say nothing. I was stunned and shocked. So she said, she ended up, this is your daddy. This is your daddy. And so at that moment.